بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Okay, so today I'm going to come back to PHP to make some more advanced concept. We're going to extend this website to make cart management using session and cookies. Okay. Did you do the exercises about JavaScript? Did you face any difficulty? Huh? Yeah. But it's really important to do them. Okay. Huh? Everything, because everything will focus on some important concepts. Okay. I will send you the solutions, but before that, we need to complete them. Okay. So today we are going to add some login user management. Okay. We're going to add some login to the website. And based on the type of the user, we are going to provide a particular display. And also, we are going to do cart management. So we can add, for example, this is the website of last year. Now it's logged. Now it's logged out. You cannot add cart. Look now, it only provides information. So if you want to add to cart, you have to log in. This is now the logic that we are going to implement. And once you log in, so you have the option. Look, we change to the option to add to cart. So this is dynamic. Okay, dynamic. You have here new menu for logout, menu for administrator. For example, if you are administrator, you can add a new product into the database. Session is about the cart. For example, now I already have two carts that were stored. This is in the cookie. Were stored in the cookie. I can also empty the cart, becomes 0. Okay, and then when I add a new cart here, it's going to be updated to 1. So this is for last year. We're going to do it on the website that we have done last time. So you can see now when I do add cart, it doesn't do anything. Okay, because it's still static. It doesn't point to any action. Yes. Sorry? I'm recording it, yes. Okay, so let's first of all start with the login. Okay. So we're going now to start with login here. And for this, we have sign in page, okay, that we are going to implement. And on the other hand, we have here our database, which contains the products and also contains a table users with two different users, one with admin role and the other one is simple customer. Okay, it's the same one, but I just added the role here so that we can display different menus for the administrator. And all of this, what I'm doing now, is going to be helpful for you later on in your project, because the project that you are going to work on is mostly about you have to make users and user management, and depending on the user type, you'll provide him some functionality. So this is kind of helpful for that. So what we should do here, we have to go to the login page. So this is the login information here. It's called login.php Webshop. And we are going to add PHP here, right? Okay. So what you need to do first? We connect to database. Okay, so let me connect to the database first. We're going to use include. Yes? Let's make a simple login now. So for the login, we need to make an SQL query. Okay, and then what is the SQL query here?
Login or sign in.
Okay, so SQL equal
sign in and then update.
the login.php. Hmm?
Login.
Login.php.
SQL.
Okay, so what we are going to do now? We're going to receive.
Select.
So I'm going to do the login in the same page here. So what's the purpose? If the login is wrong, it's going to stay in the same page. Otherwise, it's going to redirect to index.php. Okay, so here SQL, it's select, start from. This is very simple now. From user. Okay. Font. Edit. Is it sufficient? Okay.
Get user from.
Where what? So I'm going to receive, first of all, let's check our form here. Okay, let's check our form. What do you need to add?
Username.
Username, I have to add name here. Do you have a name? The input, yes, it's the input here. Name equal username.
Password.
And here the password. Password. ID for JavaScript later on. I'm going to use the same username. This is for JavaScript. Okay. And the method here, where? In the form. Action. Index.php. What is the syntax for self? We can use self.
You can use it
You can do with JavaScript, right? No, with PHP. I know, but I want to use self.
نفتح PHP سيرفر global value server PHP server بعدين
Okay. Server global variable.
yes
Yes.
PHP server
Like this, huh? Okay. Semicolon. Do you need to put semicolon here when it is in line? Not sure. Echo, yes. Is everything right? And method? You have to choose post because it contains username and password. Okay, but I will let you do some practical hint. You can do with get for debugging because sometimes with get you can enter some test values into the URL. When it doesn't work with the form, you can enter with the URL and then change everything to post. So I'm going to use get and then change it to post. You understand what I mean?
No.
With post, testing is difficult. With get, you can test, for example, you can go to here to the browser and make a get request, okay, directly in the URL here. So for testing, we use get, and then when everything works fine, we can, but it's possible to do post right away. So everything now is fine for the form. Okay, I will go for the SQL command, where what? So first of all, I need to collect the values.
Username equal.
Yeah, username equal.
Get.
Okay, username. And then password equal get password. And then where username equal. We have to put the code, and here username and password equal
دخلت تعمل تشيك على الباسورد.
dot password. Is there anything missing? So what I can do, as usual,
باسورد
code here. Okay, I'm going to test whether MySQL is working fine or not. Okay, do not try to go very fast usually. Okay, so undefined index username, undefined index password.
دكتور select username password.
Because I did not send. I need to press here. Okay, now I get. Because I need to do what if is set. Okay, so I'm going to check this. But now, one moment. Okay, I can check now. Okay, so my query is correct. So usually go step by step. Do not go very fast. Better to do things in logical and correct way rather than try to do many things that does not work.
Can we select everything that's on the table and then compare it?
No, this is not good. But in this case, why you do the query?
To get
The where, yeah, but in SQL you have the where statement. In order to filter, you have to make filter query that is filtered. Just learn. You need to learn.
Is it wrong?
It's wrong way to do it, right? You should not do without filtering, even if it works. Okay, so now we're gonna have the user that is selected. Okay, so now we have a problem. Look, if you do it like this, without sending the form, in this case, we're gonna have the problem of username and password. Okay, so what we should do, yeah, we should make if statement here. If not
Notice.
is set, if not username is set, or
واحد من باسورد.
both, else. So everything here should be in the else. So, yeah, in this case, look, even if I do like this, I will not have the problem. Hmm? Try to do. If I sign,
لا اصلا ما عمل بروسس.
الايكو يا ما كانت عندي الايكو انا كنت ما مشغلها. Okay. Okay, now there is nothing. Now I should see the echo. No? Is there anything wrong? Is it? Okay. Now, okay, so now there is nothing, and here I can see the output. Okay.
Why do we need to use get there and there? Why can't we use without get the if statement? Inside the if statement, why do we have to use get? Why don't we just use variable?
What variable? We don't have any variable. We have to check whether we have to. لا هو why we use get here? Because we need to check whether these parameters are set or not set.
Why don't we use we initiate the user
How do you initiate and you are not sure that they exist? They may not have been sent. So I need to check them before.
Why did you choose to get
فسرت ليش؟ قلت for testing.
Values we get if it's not if it's empty, none or is it empty?
Hmm?
If you don't have an input, is it none or empty?
We can check. I don't know the exact value. I think it's should be 0. It should be 0. Okay. It's giving 1 because of it is set and 0 otherwise.
The
Should-
set is boolean, but the get value.
the value that they did something?
Mhm.
لازم اسوي فاليو شيل اس
شنو سؤالك يا صور؟
بدون الset.
يعني داير صار
Okay, so now we can check whether this is in the database. We have to run the query.
if result
Yes, we have to make result
result equals count
so the connection
query SQL
SQL and then
if result
yes
result لا result user name الست إذا أجل الست
if result
رو نمبر
yes not num rows
equals 0
so if it is equal 1 it's fine else okay so here we find something must be equal to 1 yes okay else incorrect username or password so here we have to echo we can put incorrect username and or password okay and now here we have to process so now this is important this is where we are going to start working with the sessions okay so here it's not only to make a login and redirect we're going to store some information that will be needed later on into the next page and this information are going to be stored into the session variable so I'm going to work both on session and cookies and we will see the difference between both session is going to end whenever you close your browser and the cookies will persist until the time that you set for the cookie because the cookie is stored in a file located in hard disk and the session is just whenever you are working on the browser yes
Is it for the browser or the IP, the session? So if you close the browser, it's automatically.
if you close the window it closes the sessions okay so now we're going to fetch the rows we have only one row here so I can write row is equal to result fetch yes and then so in order to redirect if you want to redirect we're going to use header
location
okay with location here and then you specify the URL the URL will be index.php
location
it's a property okay so header location index.php is going to redirect so let's try without session now I'm going to check whether I have errors okay now I'm going to use a wrong password, incorrect username or password. Okay, so 71 371 cannot modify header information, header already sent. Okay, I think I need to make session start, or yeah, I got this problem before. Location index.php. Cannot modify header information. Headers already sent. There is one instruction I have to do. Okay. Problem in this example, it's the same. It works. Okay. So now what we should do here.
Session starts.
So first of all, we need to take the store the information. Okay, we can print message that the authentication is fine. So welcome.
Do you need to fix the role?
Yes, because we're going to take some information from the database. That is the name. Yeah. So now, for example, here I'm going to say welcome to first name. And then I'm going to store in the session all the information that I will need in the next page. Okay, so I will need the username, I will need the password, I will need the first name and the last name. Then, for example, when we come here, look, like in this example, we want to say hello, for example, first name. How to get this information now? Yes, because now we are in index.php and the login, now it's in different page. So in order to transfer this information from login.php to index.php, we can use either the session or we can use the cookies, both. Okay, so we're going to use both now. First of all, in order to work with the session, you need to make session start. Okay, this is the first thing you need to do. And then we create some session variables, global variable session. Okay, and here, for example, I'm going to put a key, username, and I will assign the value. What will be the value here? Okay, I'm going to take the value that I got from the user.
ما هو لو انا اعمل سيشن هذا اعمل رو واحط الرو كامل راسنا اخذ اللي يحتاج من الرو اصلا اسرع.
Okay, we're going to take from the row now.
لا يعني الان سيشن مش الرو لا اليوزر نيم رو ايكوالز رو.
Row equal row. What does it mean, row equal row? I don't know.
Use the row as the session variable.
ايوه.
It cannot.
Send the row.
سند ظهر.
Send the row. Put the row in the session.
No.
I
Yeah, I see. No.
اسرع.
بس في داتا ما تحتاج هناك.
But you're going also to, I don't know, I didn't try it. I cannot say this, but it's going to be more complicated. Now you only take the, for example, I need to take the username, the first name, and the last name. I will take them as session variables and transfer them to the next page. If you want to take the whole row, you can try. I didn't try that. Okay, it might be possible, but I'm not sure whether it's going to be more complicated or less complicated. Okay, it may not work, but I didn't try that.
You also
Okay, so what else? We're going to take also the role because it might be an admin or a simple normal customer. Okay. Is this okay? Wada? Okay. So now we can do the same thing also for the cookies. Now we don't need. We'll need it later. Yes.
About the username, can we say role username instead?
Hmm?
The username, that's
نفس
it.
الشيء. ايه يس
Why?
نفس ناخذ عشان اسرع.
What you want to do? Okay. And then we're going to send to the next page index.php. For some reason, it's not. This header is not working for some reason. Let me try again. Okay, there is welcome Anis now.
Search.
So here, what we need to do, we need to do this before the form. Okay. No, didn't work. Okay, I'm going to skip because for some reason it didn't want to, but this is the right way. I'm not sure why it's working here and it's not working on the other one. Quite strange. Yeah, we have here the session start. No, it's not a problem even if it is after the include. But the problem is the header is not working. I'm having a problem here with the header. Okay. This is session start problem. Problem with session. Could be, it must be the first thing to. Okay. Let me check. Right after the body. Yeah, okay. Now it's working for the session start. It must be done in the beginning. So this is something tricky. Okay. So usually when you have to work with the session, in order to avoid any problem like you have seen now, do the session start just after the body here.
I think everything is good says even before the duck type. The first thing with the session.
Now we can start it even here after the body because it must be loaded first. Okay. And now, okay, welcome. And so even for this, it's now working with no problems. والله في مسألة loading في البي اتش بي في بعض قواعد في البي اتش بي انه you have to make it first. Okay. I get this problem before and now this is how it can be solved. Okay. So now we are done with this. Just one last thing for the login here. Okay, so now if we are logged in, if we are already logged in, and so we don't want to go to the login page again. So if we are logged in, we want to redirect directly to index. So how we can do this? Okay. So how we can do this? Because now look. Okay, I'm going to try header again. Hope that it will work after I did this change. It must be like the similar issue, but anyway. So now what we should do, if is set, what must be set? Session, yes. username. If it is set in this case, we're going to do header location index.php.
You load the page twice.
Yes. I think the difference with here is that all the code was done just okay before loading. Yes, it's the same problem. Okay, we can fix this problem by putting all the PHP on the top. All this PHP must be done before loading the page, because header is going to make redirection. So in PHP it needs to make redirection before loading the page. That's why now, okay, I get the point. So if we do it here, it should be fine.
Even if the form is after PHP.
Sign in.
Also forwarded you to.
Yeah, because I'm logged in now. Look, okay. So I need to make logout. Okay, if I remove this now, I can go to login again. Okay, so when I do if is set session username header location, now index.php works without problem. As I told you, when you want to redirect, you have to redirect before loading the page. So we must make the redirection just after the body. The problem that we got now, I remember, it's because the page was loaded and then we say header redirect. It makes some problems. That's why now it's working fine. Look now, if I make this condition here, username is set redirect to index, so it will be automatically now redirect to index. I have to change index to show whether you are logged in or not, of course, and the username as well, and also put something for sign out. Instead of sign in, it becomes here sign out. Yes. Okay, so let's go now for index. First thing to change, sign in will become sign out. So what to do here? We go to sign in, sign. Okay. So all of these now will depend on whether we are logged in or not. So we're going to open here if statement. Yes, if what? Session username. So if is set username. So what to do here? Echo if it is set, I'm going to make sign out. Else I can remove this. So this will become we need to have a logout. Logout.php. Okay. So now if I go here, look now, we have logout.
ما عندي مجال. دكتور how can you remove that؟ يعني بضيف نفس الصفحة لكن بغير السيشن. السيشن equal nothing.
Let me go step by step. Everyone.
My question is, how can we change the sign up when we are in the session?
We are changing now. نفس الشيء.
Sign up.
Now we have to make logout so that we remove the username from the session. Okay, so let me make a logout first. What is the logout?
The text.
No problem. Okay, no problem. Okay, win. Okay, sign in. Okay. Okay, it's sign in here. Did we go to the session or no? ولا عكستها أنا. If is set username, sign out, else sign in. Okay, so now in the logout, all we need to do is to make session start, session unset is going to remove everything in the session. Okay, so I'm going just to copy this file here, logout.php. What is now the, here it's login.php, still redirecting. It's like it's not taking effect here. Okay, I hope. Why it's not working? لأن الآن السيشن is set. Session username. Okay. Maybe I did not make session start here. I need to make session start. Okay. I need to make session start. The database also include here below, should be removed. Okay. Look, when I did not make session start, it was not taken into account. Okay, all the session exists. Now it becomes fine. Look, it's logout. If I do logout here, okay, sign in, I go back to index.
مش احسن لو اخلي السيشن
So many one by one. Okay, login.php. Yes.
Yes, this one. When we check if the username is set, can we do it?
Just a moment. Here, it's this one. Yes.
Yes. Just for a lot of people.
Which one?
This one. If we check the username is set, can we do it before assigning the username? No.
No. You check that the username exists. You redirect to the index.
And checks based on what we assigned. No, right?
Yes. So if it is not redirected, you will continue for the login. Okay. Now. Sorry.
When he clicks sign up, how do you remove the session?
Here we use the session unset. Okay. We can do it in another way. Look here. We can do it even inside the login. Same login. We can submit to the login with the logout as a post. Okay. And then, so the idea is to make session underscore unset. Session unset is going to remove all the variables of the session. So it will reset everything.
Can you show me the code for sign out? When you click sign out.
هذا sign out. This is the code.
هذا الكود لو احطه انا في
احنا جيت
دكتور السيشن اذا مسكر براوزر او
نعم.
يعني فورا بيسوي ساين
نعم.
نروح الاندكس.
But we can do it in the cookie to maintain. نعم.
نروح على الاندكس. اندكس الساين ان نفسه.
So now we have this one working. Sign out. I need to add some statement here for the user, some place. I don't know where to add. Maybe I will remove sign up here, or I will add some statement here just afterwards. Yes, we're going to add just after here. After this one, another li.
why after doctor? Can't you just use after
مش يكون من بعد. تحب تخليه قبل تخليه قبل. تحب تخليه بعد. Okay. So if set.
بس ده نذكر الكونديشن مرتين حطوا بنفس النظر.
Okay, if the username is set, we're going now to put here li welcome, and then we put session first name. You know now why I stored the first name? The first name was gotten from the database. Okay, now I can get it into this page, and then I can display it. Okay, I will to make space here. Okay, and then the last name here. Okay, is everything correct? I think it's sufficient now.
But you didn't remove the sign up.
No problem, I just put it after. It doesn't look very well here. I don't know if I let me check if I can add some styling or anyway. Okay, it looks a little bit better here. Okay, now if I make sign out, okay, we don't find it. If I make sign in, okay, if I make Muhammad, it's correct. Isn't correct. I think I have two here in the user. What are Ali? Okay. Save. Okay. Welcome Muhammad Ali. So it's working fine. Now.
If I'm signed in, the sign up should be hidden because I'm already signed in. I don't need to sign in.
No problem. You can. And I have now a plan is to make the card. We can do this. We can do that. We can do a lot of things. But my objective is to show you how to use sessions in order to make a shopping cart. Okay. Now we are just making the user management, and we are going to step into. We have so many options now. If you have questions for understanding, that's okay. But if you have questions about we can do this one, keep it for later because otherwise I'm not going to continue to finish the example.
سؤال بس.
نعم.
إذا سويت السيشن انسيت بتروح كل الفاريبلز تبع السيشن؟
بطبيعة الحال.
لا طيب لا لازم نسوي انه نحدد السيشن اللي الفاريبلز تبع السيشن اللي بنعملها انسيت ولا لازم نسوي لك كل السيشنز؟
كل السيشن تشيلها. Okay. So now what we need to do? Now this is the example here. Okay, we did this part. Now we need also to change these ones. Okay, here in our example, we have already add to cart. It's possible to, now what we can do? We can do two cases, if it is signed or if it is not signed, okay? So if I go add, let's change it now. Now look, we have add to cart every time. We can add here depending whether it has a username or not. So something very simple. I can create a variable. Okay. Cart or add to cart text will be equal to what? If is set session $, username here, username. So this text will be equal to what? Add to cart else product info. Okay, so now we can replace this here. Instead of having this one, I'm going to add here dot and have this one. Okay, first of all, let's check whether it works. Now it works. I have to sign out, and now I have product info. واضح? Okay. Oh, of course, now I have to change, and I do step by step. So now we have to change what? The href. Now href is not pointing to anything. Okay? We can do the same thing here. href equal something, and href here equal to some other thing, yes. So I need to go to the product page. Okay, so the product page, as we did it last time, it's this one. Okay, where to go to the product page is here, right? Product info, and then, okay, the row ID, I already have it. And here, if I have this one, add to cart. Okay, now we're going to make some other processing. So for the moment, I'm going to put it dash until we see what we are going to do. Okay? No, we're not going to use JavaScript now. href, what's wrong here? Line 613. 613, it's here. We have something wrong here. But first of all, I need to change what? This one. What's wrong here? Product info. I think I have problem in the quotations. There is a problem with the quotations. But why it's not added there? No, let me, something like this. No, I think it should be fine. Add to cart. Okay, if I make sign out, product info, it's working. But I have this one, I don't know from where it comes.
From the template.
There is some echo that is displaying something. Where? Where is the price? Spanady. Okay. Okay. Product info. Now sign in. Sign in. Add to cart. So now we come to the step add to cart. Okay, so far we have only used the sessions. We did not use cookies, but the cookies also in the they are the same way. Okay. So what we should do now? How to process the cookie information. So now, what to do when we press add to cart? We can do it in several ways. Now, if you have JavaScript, you can process it in some ways. If we have, now, when we add the cart, what we are going to do? We are going to change the value and reload the same index. So everything will be inside the index.php. Okay? So for this, we need to create some session variables for the cart. We need to create session variables for the cart. I'm going to create them here. Okay, we can create a session variable called session number of
array
items. So the number of items by default is 0. Okay, let's now try to make a shopping cart with 0 items, and everything we make add to cart, we're going to add the relevant information. Okay, this is the idea. Okay, so do we have here some cart? Let's do some cart here. In principle, we should have this icon. What is the icon of the cart? How we can add it?
It's written in the product. In the add to cart, there's an icon. You can just copy it.
Okay,
And put a badge next to it.
okay. Add to cart. Which one? This one. This one. So this one we can add it where? On the top.
With a badge next to it.
For example, here.
after welcome first name.
Or just before. Let's see what is the best place. LI. Does it look good here?
Yes.
Not that much. Maybe we should add also some A.
Or can make style white.
Let me add
بعد
Should we remove the plus?
which one? No need. It must be after the sign out.
It has plus on the side.
No, this is from the template. I used it from the template. Or maybe here. It's a bit small, right?
Style, size, style.
Not size. It's
Size.
I think size works.
20 pixel. No,
Font size.
I think font size is something like this. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, and then we can put some number. We can use some fancy things, but just I will put some number here next to it. So what we should put? Yes. So I'm going to put here the session. And of course, I'm going to open PHP, echo, session, number of.
Shouldn't it be only if the session is,
Hmm?
shouldn't it be only when the session is
The session is set already. This one? Yes. We should make if statement.
we can add it to the line number.
We can make, yeah.
It has a default value 0, right?
So now it depends whether we want to show the shopping cart forever or only when. We can do like this. Yeah, okay. Or I can do like this. Okay. Should work. Not very nice. Okay. but it's working.
السايز يكون التعامل ايش؟
So echo, should we make it like a paragraph or
لا 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 دكتور، بس السايز خليه يسوي اثنين مع بعض. السايز تحط
just a moment, just a moment.
لا دكتور جالس كوبي كوبي. لا بس حطها في
Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on the style. Now at least you have shopping cart and you have the number of items. We can play with this, but we have more important things to do. We can increase the size. Okay. So now what we should do, when we click on add to cart, okay, what is the action?
Increase the session. Number of items.
So we're going to increase that, yes, okay. What is add to cart? It's here. Yeah. Hmm? No, I want to stay here. In index.php, and I will increment.
decision.
Yeah. So now what we should do, if
لا دكتور بس البutton تبع الاد كارت هنا. الاد كارت من فوق. الاد كارت. البutton صح ولا لا؟
here we need to make, there are several ways, but one of the ways I'm going to use it now is to make a query. Okay. So now, when you make add to cart, what we have to, what we need to do, we need to know what is the ID of the product. Okay. That's we need to do. So I'm going to do product ID equal to what? Equal to this value.
The row is from the users, right?
Okay, so I need to take the product ID here. And, okay, so now this is going to work fine. Look, if I do the following, it makes product ID 1, product ID 2. But now I'm going to reload the same page, look. But I need to process this page by incrementing the number of items and also storing the product that I have selected. واضح ولا لا؟ لأن what is the shopping cart? It's a list of products. So all I need to know now, the product ID. Okay? Okay, yes. So
What if you have two?
now I have sent this product ID. I'm going also to send something called query type. I will call it, for example, add to cart. So I know that I have pressed on add to cart and I need to process it accordingly. Let me explain my idea here. So here I'm going to is add and query or action equal what? I'm going to call it add to cart. Add query type. Add to cart, yes, like this. Just to be the same example. So look now, when I press this button, I will have a query. So I need to make an if statement. If I am in the index with the query type add to cart, in this case, I'm going to process the cart. واضح? It's possible also to send to another page for updating the cart and then going back to the index. This is also possible. واضحة الفكرة الثانية ولا؟ الآن because we want to process everything in the same page. But it's possible I do something like add to cart page, okay, and then I send this information to the add to cart page. This is the action, It's going to make the update of the cart and then going back to the index. Yes, but it's going to be easier to make everything here in place. So what we should do here, it's just we need to make sure that if is set, this is not the only way. You can do it in different ways. Okay, maybe you have better ideas. With JavaScript and Ajax, you can do even better. But now we are just focusing on how to use the shopping cart using session. Later on, we will use cookies. It's going to be the same thing. Instead of writing session, we use cookies, and then we set the time.
So we'll not take cookies today, huh?
I hope that we have some time to take it. Okay. So if now is set, the same principle.
Is it?
No. Okay. If is set what? Product ID and is set query type. No, not product ID here. It's get. I'm going to get it in a get message. صح ولا لا؟ Okay, and so here we have query type. So what does this mean? Okay, it means that I have pressed query type add to cart. If add to cart is pressed. واضح? So what to do here? I'm going to increment this by 1.
So لازم نعرف أول شيء
Let's do it one by one. Okay, we will do several things, but let's when you develop, do it one by one. When something works, go to the next step. Okay, we have a lot to do, a lot of things to do. We have also to store the product ID itself. But now I would like to check whether it's working fine. Now, first of all, I have. Let me debug first. Cannot is set the same expression. Where here? It's here. Okay. Okay. Remove. Unexpected action. Maybe the word. What is action?
Action. Dot. You have to go dot.
And action. Okay, I'm going to make query type. And the query type. But it was working fine. I don't know why it's changing like this. So here you have row ID. صح ولا لا؟ Is this correct? It's possible. It's possible. You can make it Boolean. You can make it anything. Is it fine? It's incrementing by 1. Okay, if you click another time, it's always 1. Okay. It's incrementing.
That's why I asked.
Maybe
just resetting variable to 0.
ايوه ايوه
Hmm?
reset variable to zero.
Because I reset the variable always to 0. Yeah. Okay. كل مرة we set it to 0. So yeah, here we have to add another if statement. Okay. Else. So this must be equal to 0 if is set. Session number of items. If not, we're going to make it to 0, equal to 0. Okay, this is why now it was always equal to 0. Okay, what's the error here? Okay, so now we have 2, becomes 3, becomes 4. But now we are just only incrementing, we are not storing the variables themselves, the product ID itself. So we need to store this into a session variable, okay, that is an array. So a shopping cart will be like an array of product IDs.
Can't we just replace the number of items with an array and use array length?
Hmm?
Can't we replace the number of items in the cart?
It's possible, yes. Yes, I'm going now to create an array for this. But because I will start with a simple example, okay, and then we will do an array. So if we want to keep the number of items, we can, or we can even remove it. So there's an array.
What's the benefit of adding product ID?
Hmm?
What's the benefit of adding product ID?
عشان تعرف شو الوقت بالضبط عليه.
Okay, when you select a product, how to know that this is the product selected?
Yep, you're adding only the badge plus one preference. Doesn't
Now I'm going to do it. Hmm?
Can you repeat?
Repeat what?
when you press on products. Sorry, when you press on add to cart,
Yeah, when you press on add to cart here,
how is it?
okay, so you can see we're going to send like a query here
Okay.
with the product ID equal the product ID itself. So if you press on 1, the first one is going to be 1 or 2. Okay, we know it's. And then I add one variable that is called the query type, just to know in the page index that I have pressed on add to cart. Okay, the action that I did. I can call it action or a query type or whatever. واضح? So now when it comes here to PHP in the server, if we press on the add to cart, how do we know that we press on the add to cart? We have two variables, product ID and query type. They must be set. If they are set, okay, here I just incremented by 1, but of course I'm going to do something more. No, not necessarily. Not necessary.
query type just to give it some query type.
It's a variable that I create to mention that I have pressed on the add to cart. سميها action مثلا or سميها whatever. Okay. This is just a way to know that I would like to process the action.
Where did you put it? Where did you create it?
Hmm?
Where did you initialize it first?
Where? What?
Query type.
No, it's just I put it here in the index. Okay. In the href here, I added to the link of index. Okay. That's the idea. It's not the only way, but this is just now with the tools that we have. This is the way on how to move from one page to another. But no, it's not necessary. I can change it to action equal to 0, and then I go there, get action 0 or 1 or 2 or whatever. Okay. So this is just a means to know that I have pressed on the add to cart.
Can you please show me the add to cart button?
Hmm?
Where do you use the query type?
Only I used it here in the beginning. Here, if it is set, so this allows me to know, okay, that it is set. Now, okay, I have to check if equal add to cart. Now it's here that I know the action. Okay, I'm going to add. Okay, and then I'm going also to add another session variable. Okay, yeah, we're going to make an array. Just a moment. So I'm going to call it shopping cart. This is now our array. This is our shopping cart, and this shopping cart, okay, will have the index number of items. Index equal I will store the product ID. Okay, so this is like a two-dimensional array. Okay, shopping cart and number of items. This is why we need to calculate the number of items, by the way.
This is a two-dimensional array.
Okay, so I'm going to increment the number of items. It will be incremented after the assignment. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah, it starts from 0 to 3.
Okay, so now in the shopping cart, we store the product ID. Think about it. This is just an array, two-dimensional array.
Why is it two-dimensional? Why are we using
Shopping cart, first index, and this one, second one.
أبوها أشوف بس اسم.
الشوبينج كارت مو بس اسم.
Yes. So this identifies the session variable name. Session. So this is session variable name, and this is okay. One-dimensional array. You can think about it. Okay. If you think all of this is the name of the variable. Okay. And this is the index. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we store the product ID. So now in the session we have all the product ID. Okay, so let me make a sign out. $54. Something wrong here because I closed the okay. Look, now I don't have anything in the shopping cart. I'm going to sign in again. It becomes 0. Now I will add 1. Okay, I can add a second one here and the third one here. Now we need to have, for example, we can have a page, show cart, and then we can show the cart. How to show the cart? From the session, we get the product ID, and then simple query, and we get all the products that we want. واضحة الفكرة الآن؟
بس في تملك جاهز
ممكن ما أدري. There should be some, of course, there are some websites you just need to contain everything ready in place. Okay, so now the idea of how to show the shopping cart is simple. Okay, so what we should do now, if we want to show the shopping cart, let's we can make, for example, checkout. Okay, we can make a button checkout. موجودة في الثيمة. Yes, let's take the page. Okay. Theme. Shop what?
Shop dash cart.
Check out this one. Yes, now we're going to modify this to show the products. We did not make with the cookies, but okay, at least let's continue this shopping cart example. So I'm going to copy this one here in the web shop, and I'm going to change the name. Call it checkout.php. Okay. So what we need to do now? First of all, we will take all this PHP code here. Okay. Include database. Now we're going to take the session variables. How to take number of items, equal session number of items, and then what we have to do as well,
stores item.
yeah, the shopping cart as well. Okay. Now we can make an SQL query. SQL equal select start from products where.
ID equal session.
Or ID.
No, the array equals the product ID.
One moment. So ID here. Now here we're going to select everything, and then based on the we're going to make a for loop of the shopping cart, or how can we do it?
Can you give the link? Is it possible to give the link?
No, but because we might have one or two or three, so how to make the where statement? The where statement will be complicated. We don't know how many items.
You have to use the link. Is there a better way?
Either you make many queries.
You keep track of the items you added. And
I will let you know.
You look based on how
We're going to take all the products first, and then okay, let me check out. Let's make while. So for every row, what we are going to do now? Yeah, the problem here.
you should look based on the number of items.
ممكن تسوي one query.
فيك تسوي اول كويري
ممكن تسوي one query. SQL statements select هذه بعدها نحط فور بعد SQL يصير products where ID equal كذا معي بعدين نحط or ونضيفه حسب اللوبس. فهمتوا علي ولا
لا.
لا؟ بعد SQL statement select start from products where ID equal نفتح قوس ثم بعدين نسوي
For loop, yes.
for loop نزيد ال
This is the best way, right? Probably yes. But the problem now, we might have the same product selected several times. So in this case, later on, we have to check the number. Yeah, but no problem. Okay, let's do it like this. I think that, yeah, because otherwise in the while loop, we're going to have a for loop. It's going to be much more complicated. So let's make for I equal 0, I smaller than shopping how to see the length of the array. I think there is array length len I plus plus how to find size of or count Return the number of elements of an array. Yeah. It's not intuitive. Count. Yeah, first of all, let me check whether we get this value as expected. Okay. So we have checkout. Checkout.php. 1. What is 1?
One is the number of items.
I think the number of items are more, if I'm not wrong. So I want to debug that. 3 and 1. This one is showing only 3 items and only 1 item in the shopping cart.
What is the shopping cart exactly? Isn't number of items the same as the? Isn't number of items is the number of items that you add to the cart?
Yes.
What is the shopping cart? What is the shopping cart? Session shopping cart. What does it contain?
It contains the product IDs. It contains the product ID in principle.
You can look on based on the number of items.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do the loop on the number of items. Okay, yes. But the problem, we're going to have a array out of bound exception in this case. Okay. So here we're going to have where, and here we are going to have SQL equal SQL dot ID equal and here session card I.
Why should you save it? Because you shouldn't save it without the equal. Because
Okay.
after each loop.
And then should we put and or no? But the problem, we must not put and for the last one.
We can't make
Or.
an if statement.
Or. So we're going to have or statement. So probably here -1. I need to make -1 here.
Why are you saving the SQL?
Let me focus first. Now. Where? Which line? No, and this is ID equal session card I. What's wrong with this? Okay, let me make the echo first. Let me make the echo of SQL. Okay, let's see the SQL. Use undefined I. This I here. No, okay, let me do first the shopping cart correctly, because, okay, sign in. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 products in the shopping cart. Now I have 2. Okay, if I make checkout now, check out, 2 and 1. So still we have a problem to solve. The length of the shopping cart is giving 1. Okay, so I need to go here. Maybe we are initializing. Why is giving 1 here? shopping cart number of items. Where are we incrementing we are incrementing here. Hmm?
What about if you make the session variable an array of rows, the product rows from the first square?
Yeah, I see, but I'm not sure how I can manipulate this. Why it's not showing here? Why the length is not showing 2, like the number of items? That's the problem. Because here we are storing.
We are starting from 0.
No, we are starting from 0 only with the number of items in the beginning. It's not set, but here it is set. There is some error in the logic here, because the number of items must be the same as the count. It's giving 2 and 1. It always is giving 1 for the shopping cart. BR. If I do checkout here, it's giving 2 for the number of items and 1.
Can't see.
2 and 1. You see here?
Shopping cart is one because it creates the array of number of products.
Yeah, but here number of items. Okay. If I add 1 here at index 0, I'm going to increment by 1. So the length will be here 1 and the number of items will be 1. Number of items, this one is making troubles, I think. Everything is incremented. Very strange. It should be reset in some places.
So condition type, yes, or condition.
Let me make an echo here. BR. Okay. And number of items as well. In the same page. Let me go to index. Add to cart another time. We have 5. 58. Why it's not showing?
دكتور يمكن ما دخل
لا دخل. Count. Yes, I need to make count. I want to check whether it is updating the correct value or not. Undefined variable number of items, 55. 55. We did not define number of items. Okay.
So what you are using?
Because I did not initialize the number of items. Okay, now it's showing fine. Okay. Now it is okay. If I do checkout, seven and 2. Now at least it's showing something better. Okay, I need to sign out and sign in again, and then add. I was not initializing the values, that's the problem. Checkout. Now it's working fine. My problem is that I was using number of items without initializing it. That's why it was an issue. So here I had also to initialize number of items here. Again with the session. Okay, so now we don't have any problem. Okay, so now it's working fine. There is no problem.
What's the difference between the session and the number of items?
So the logic is correct in both. Let me go to the index here. Okay. Okay. So it's fine. Even in checkout now, we can do our query correctly. We have 6 and 6. We can use the count of the count of the. So it's okay. So about the query now, let's see the query. Select start from ID where product equal ID or ID equal 2 or ID equal 2 or equal 1 or equal 1. Now, yes, we have to check. We can do another thing. If the product ID is selected more than once, we can use a counter, yes. We can use multi-dimensional array, something like number of items. We can do something like this. Look, shopping cart, product ID, number, and we increment. Quantity, something like this, yes. We can do quantity. Yeah, I think this is the best way to, I think this is how we did it before. It's a quantity, right? Yeah. Okay, so how to solve this now? How we can solve this in the query? Oh, it's going to work fine. I mean, even if I take this to SQL, look,
Yeah, but
we can polish the query later on. So if I go to SQL here, and or no, I want to say that if you make and, you cannot have ID equal to and ID equal.
ايش المشكله هي table doesn't exist. Table
Product, maybe product here. Okay, so it works. Okay, it works.
الاي دي ما يتكرر عندك يعني مشكله؟
It works fine.
في عندنا في البي اتش بي set.
No, but I have to make the ID repeating why to know the number of how much it was selected.
في عندنا set.
Okay, let's do it now. Let's do it like this. So then now the query is working fine. We fetch the query in order to display the product. We try to display the product before we leave. So this is now where the product is displayed. It's here. It's going to be simple. Where is checkout? Okay. Casual code. No. This one. So this one is repeating, right? The LI. Okay. I need to remove this LI and replace here. So I have to close the while loop here and change all the values by row here. صح ولا؟
There's also another alarm.
Okay, I hope that it's going to work fine. So here it's PHP echo row on the top, and here what we should put title. Is it title or name? Name. So here we have name, and here we have price. I'm going to put price. We can improve later. Okay, let's check whether it works fine. We will have some errors, but let me check. 117. 117. Okay, okay, okay.
في كم خطأ؟
ما في مشكلة. Okay, I'm going to check. It's not showing.
الإسبان دكتور؟
Here we have some principle.
نرجع قبل بي اتش بي الثاني. لا لا
هذا.
هذا نرجع شوي في
For the page.
كلوز الإسبان.
Okay. هذا خلاص. Okay. عندنا الآن while loop. This is the while loop for every row. Okay. We're going just to. Yeah, it must not be here. Okay, okay, yes, yes. Okay, let me close here. It must be only here for the ally. Okay. Okay, so this is the while loop here is going to repeat and close here. صح ولا؟ في عندنا if statement ولا it's okay? Is it showing anything?
Yeah, I think the products are actual.
It's not showing. It's not showing here the name.
You said
Look, it's showing here. No, this is a total.
different. Place.
لا المكان
If row equal result.
لا هذا المكان دكتور هل هو نفس المكان اللي في
That is the common, not the
the place we are moving it to. هذا صحيح هذا صحيح.
هذا صحيح ما فيش ولا اشكال.
الاشكال في الاس بي اس الكود.
while.
لا هل هذا الكود هو نفس الكود اللي احنا ندور عليه؟ مكان
Yeah.
مكان السطح هو نفسه؟
Probably no. I think we did it wrong. Yes.
هذا كارت فوتر. كارت فوتر.
It's below. Yes, yes. Okay, no problem. We will continue this next time.